Hello. Yeah, it's connected. Thank you. A very good morning and welcome to everybody. Uh, I think all of we are seated and probably the front door we can keep closed now and the back door will be open for coming. So before anything else, so जितना फर्ज हमारा स्कूल की तरफ बनता है उतना कंट्री की तरफ भी बनता है. So today being 30th of January is also the martyrdom day of father of the nation, Shri Mahatma Gandhi ji. So before anything else, we'll do a 2-minute silence for him. Okay. So I think we should salute all those who have laid their lives, who have fought for this freedom that we enjoy today, not only Bapu, but all others. And I extend because मेरे बड़े मेरी टीचर्स एंड सभी लोग यहाँ पर हैं, मैं एडवांस में अपनी तरफ से अपॉलॉजीज एक्सटेंड कर रहा हूँ मेरे से कोई भी गलती हो तो, सिंस आई एम इन दिस रोल फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. Namaskar and greeting to this wonderful August gathering day, studded with, I would say, plethora of Bhavan's gems and stars today. एक छोटा सा कपलेट. तन्हा हुए तो शाह भी हुए तो क्या हुए, जो काफिलों में अपनों के तिफल भी हुए तो क्या खूब मजा है. थैंक यू. On behalf of Bhavanites Alumni Association, I welcome all esteemed guests present here and connected online also. We have many guests who are connected online. Heartiest welcome to Honorable, I think, Chairman Saab, but still our honors and respect to him and entire Bhavan's fraternity, entire office bearers. I think Registrar Saab हैं यहाँ पे, Registrar Saab, Manager Saab. So all जो भी esteem जिनका नाम मैं मिस कर रहा हूँ, a warm welcome from our side. And also the college heads who spare time, institution heads who are here, who spare time for us, for our this program, to acknowledge this program. Warm and heartiest welcome and congratulations once again on the dais to our very, very own and special Madam Dimple Juneja. Welcome to Vice Principal Kirti ma'am. Rekha Sharma ma'am, I think, is on the way. And also all our teachers, Shashi Bhargav ma'am, Usha Ram ma'am, Dhingra sir, and probably some of the teachers are on the way. Aroda ma'am is expected. And all the staff and admin, present staff and admin, present staff and teachers. Special thanks on behalf of association to गुरमीत जी हैं हॉल में. आपके एफर्ट्स के बिना ये प्रोग्राम बिल्कुल पॉसिबल नहीं होता. एंड ऑफ कोर्स थैंक्स टू राजीव जी जो हमेशा यहाँ पे रहते हैं हमारे को हर तरीके से हेल्प करने के लिए. On behalf of association, I also welcome our secretary, Shri Anup Sharma sir, and our treasurer Manish ji जो किसी वजह से physically present नहीं हो पाए, and we all know that there would be a genuine reason, otherwise it never happens कि वो इस प्रोग्राम में ना आते. Rakesh Jain sir, 1976, our youngest, I think, alumni right now in the hall, and of course the core committee members, the special core committee members, Yogesh, Gautam, Charudi, I think Suman, yeah, everybody is here. हम लोग सब मिल के ऐसे programs को अंजाम देते हैं and आपके सामने पेश करते हैं. And all other PAN batch alumnus attending this program here online or the entire Bhavan's fraternity. I also take this opportunity to welcome our hope, our future, our pride, the back row children, young Bhavanites, the present students of the school. Big round of applause for the students. And now, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, last but most important, on behalf of all of us present here and online, I wholeheartedly welcome a superstar of the gathering, a very dynamic guest speaker of the day, Shri Madhav Nair sir. Big round of applause, please. Thank you so much, sir. Heartiest gratitude to you. At this stature, when you would always and always be short of time, you have shared your time in so much ample amount to share your best with the best of the school. Thank you so much, sir. There is so much to say about you and so little time. I'll just sum up with a small couplet. Again, I'm fond of poetry, so I would keep doing this in between. जाने मंजिले मिले ना मिले, गर राहों में कोई चराग ना हो, आपसे चराग की रोशनी तले राहें तो जगमगाती ही हैं, मंजिलें भी मुकम्मल मिलती हैं. I think I've had enough of it, so we will all stand up for the Sarva Dharma prayer, and if anybody has any problem in standing, you can please be seated. No issues. Thank you. Can we have the Sarva Dharma prayer? Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, choir, for and our music teacher, present music teacher, for such melodious and mesmerizing, nostalgic recitation of our school prayer. हमारे दिलों में बसती है ये. I personally feel कि हमारी school prayer, the Sarva Dharma prayer, can easily be ranked among the most powerful and effective chantings in the world. During our school period, it was recited only on Fridays. Some of us used to miss it because उस दिन assembly लंबी होती थी और first period निकल जाता था उसमें. So when we had a long assembly, उस समय इसका महत्व उतना शायद हमें ना पता चला हो, but yes, down the line in life we realize के इस poetry ने along with the culture etiquettes that we have got from the school, इस poetry ने क्या हमारी personality पे, हमारी humanity पे क्या असर दिया है. So we'll Gurmeet ma'am, please. So we'll start with the felicitations now. Chairman साहब ने, director साहब ने, registrar साहब ने, manager साहब ने, and Geetika ma'am, that's it. Office superintendent साहब ने. Okay. So I'll request Rakesh Jain sir from 1976 batch to please felicitate along with the 1988 batch members. Do we have some of them? Madhav sir's batch? Yeah. Please felicitate our newly appointed dynamic, very beautiful also I would say, our principal ma'am Dimple Juneja ji. Yogesh is there? Yogesh? Okay. So I'll request Suman ji to please felicitate Registrar Saab with the planter, please. Thank you. I would request Kuldeep Prable sir to please felicitate manager sir Arya ji. Shashi Bala ma'am. Okay. Arun Jain sir is here. आप हैं अरुण जैन सर. ओके. सो मैं चाहूँगा सर आप शशि बाला मैम डीन ऑफ इंडोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट उनको प्लीज़ फेलिसिटेट करें. प्रिंसिपल बीएड कॉलेज मैडम गीतिका दत्ता जी, मैं चाहूँगा कोई भी सीनियर बैच एलुमनाई प्लीज़ उनको फेलिसिटेट करें. 1988 बैच या एनीवन. Since I can see we have a very little alumni batch present here, so I would just request that all of us can please go together and please felicitate Usha Ram ma'am, Rekha Sharma ma'am, Dhingra sir, Arora ma'am is on the way, Shashi Bhargav ma'am, please. So that will be a meet and greet also. Yeah. Aroda ma'am is also here. Yeah. Welcome, ma'am. हेलो, मैं गुरमीत मैम से चाहूँगा प्लीज़ एक बार स्टेज के पास आएं. गुरमीत मैम प्लीज़ एक बार स्टेज के पास आएं प्लीज़. That is the picture of the day, I am very sure. Yes. Request everybody to be seated, please. We'll have ample time to talk. Request everybody to be seated, please. I now request Acting Vice Principal Ma'am Kirti Chaturvedi ji to please felicitate our Secretary Sahab Shri Anup Sharma ji. The rock solid pillar of our association, always there in all weathers, all times. And I'll request Rakesh sir again to please felicitate Kirti Chaturvedi ma'am. Please join. Yep. Kuldeep Prable sir, yes. The senior most alumni now present in the hall. Big round of applause. And you can see he is the youngest of us all also. Full of energy always. Now the last but most important, our very special, respected, beloved, and most importantly, most awaited, our guest speaker for today in this 4th edition of Dr. MP Chhaya Memorial Lecture Series, the very dynamic Shri Madhav Nair ji, a 1988 batch alumnus. Madhav sir is CEO Bank of Bahrain and Kuwait, India, and is also the Deputy Chairman to the prestigious and powerful Indian Banks Association. He is also pitched to be and recommended to be holding certain other higher positions in the near future. I request Anup Sharma sir to please felicitate him with the planter and the other emotional and loving gifts that we have prepared for him. Yeah, he'll anyways be coming to the stage, ma'am. The stage will be all his in 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. A big round of applause, please. Shri Madhav Nair. Thank you again, sir, for sparing so much of time. Yes, of course, sir. Please join 1988 batch members. Yeah. Yogesh, you also please join, please. No, I'll have to give a special intro to the youngsters of Yogesh Negi, my brother from a different mother, I would say. And he's also son of our another very dynamic, legendary fatherly principal, Shri G.S. Negi, sir. Yogesh Negi for you, yeah. Who followed the footsteps and went miles ahead also in certain things after Dr. M.P. Chhaya sir. So these are two legendary principals which we always look forward to for what they have given to us all. Thank you so much. As we conclude the felicitations, it wouldn't be complete without one name, a person who is immensely missed not only by me but I'm sure all of us. The one who has stood by us in all weathers to ensure the school, association and the entire Bhavan fraternity, our beloved and respective and very charming Shri Manish Ahuja ji, our treasurer, 1984 batch. Due to some dire consequences, he could not join us, but I'm very sure he will be watching every bit of it live. So a big round of applause for him. We are missing you a lot, Manish Bhaiya, but we are trying to do our best in your absence. I now request Principal Dimple Juleja ma'am to please formally welcome and address the gathering. Thank you, ma'am. Please. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Mugdh. Good morning to one and all. With great pleasure, I extend a warm welcome to all present. Bhavanites, students, teachers, Kaushik sir, management members, Shashibala ma'am, I welcome you all. Mehta Vidyalaya is indeed very fortunate to have a strong and supportive alumni association. I should say alumni network. We are very fortunate. I would like to mention all Bhavanite association and especially the dedicated individuals like Anoopji, Manish Ahuja, Mugdh, Amit, Gautam, Yogesh and many more who are working tirelessly behind the scene to make this event, the lecture series in the memory of Dr. M.P. Chhaya, a reality. So thank you. You truly deserve our appreciation and gratitude. Thank you, Bhavanites. Here I would like to put on the record the deep love and affection my students, all my students have for you all, sir, for the association. We all admire the Bhavanites like anything, you see. Because, see, you inspire my students. You push them. You motivate them, right? You motivate them to achieve the goals, which right now even seems beyond their reach. So, you are true heroes to my students. For this, you actually deserve not only my gratitude, my thanks, and I have no words to express my feelings. Thank you very much. Here, you know, when a child leave house, right, for whatever, for his studies or whatever, and when they come back home, there is a happiness, there's excitement all around, isn't it? Among his peers, among his siblings, parents, everywhere there's excitement. And you know what? This feeling is similar to what we feel at Mehta Vidyalaya when our ex-students come back home. So thank you. Okay, I will not. That's why I always say Bhavan is a family. And once you are a Bhavanite, you're always a Bhavanite. You have no other way, right? So I will not take much of your time. Again, I wholeheartedly welcome Mr. Madhav Nair, CEO, Bank Bahrain and Kuwait, and Deputy Chairman, Indian Bank Association. Thank you so much for sparing your time, and I welcome wholeheartedly. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this short, sweet, and very warm message from you. Thanks a lot for that. I must mention here that in all our efforts as the association, the school and management has always played an integral and extremely supporting and encouraging role. The doors of the school have always been open for any of us to visit and cherish the same warmth and nostalgia for getting back to the alma mater again and again. So that's a very, very big thing. Thanks a lot for that. I would take the liberty to share this secret with you, all of you today, that so far as the core group is concerned, we are that passionate flock of birds who are always looking for reasons and excuses to fly back to our old strong tree. Our dearest alma mater, our school, no matter how far, how high we fly, we always strive to fly back to our tree that taught us to be strong, to be kind, to rule the skies, but not to forget the ground. So that's what values we have got from the school, and that's why we have Madhav Nair sir here. And अब ये वाली अगर जिक्र हुआ है तो मैं अल्मा मेटर का जो एक मैसेज हर साल जब बैच पास आउट होता है, क्या मैसेज वो देता है, वो मैसेज मैं आपको 2 लाइनों में बताता हूँ. आसमां अपना कद कुछ और ऊंचा कर ले, मेरे युवा परिंदे उड़ान भरने को हैं. यहां मैं ये भी कहना चाहूंगा कि जब भी स्कूल आए कुछ ना कुछ लेकर ही गए. आपकी डेस्क से मैम हमने कोई स्टेशनरी कभी नहीं ली, बट कभी ज्ञान, कभी यादें, कभी एहसास एंड कभी प्यार और अपनापन तो हमेशा ही. एंड ऑफ कोर्स कैंटीन के समोसे एंड ब्रेड पकोड़े. हर बार आता हूं भर भर के यादें, भर भर के खुशियां लेकर चला जाता हूं, मगर मन कभी भरता नहीं और खाली दामन लिए फिर वापस चला आता हूं. एंड एज यू ऑल कैन सी, मैं पर्टिकुलरली स्कूल से कुछ ज़्यादा ही लेके जा रहा हूँ इन दिस टाइम. सो ओके, लेट्स प्रोसीड. सो एस्टीम गेस्ट एंड फ्रेंड्स, द ओनली एंड ओनली प्लेस एंड रिलेशंस इन आवर लाइफ्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम आवर ओन पेरेंट्स, siblings and our home is our teachers and our school who got extra miles, share whatever good they had to ensure that we shape up the best, we achieve the best. Today we all have joined here to remember, to bow before one of that fatherly legendary figure in our lives who departed to the heavenly abode in August 2021. We all paid our heartiest tribute to him at that time. लेकिन छाया सर हम सब की ज़िंदगियों की एक ऐसी शख्सियत, एक ऐसा एहसास रहे हैं जिन्हें हम बार बार याद करना चाहेंगे, करते रहेंगे, बार बार नमन करना चाहेंगे. एंड दस वी स्टार्टेड द डॉक्टर MP Chhaya Memorial Guest Lecture Series for the first time in the year 2023, this now being the 4th edition. We were fortunate to have Ba, the better half of Chhaya sir, and nothing less than a mother to all of us, and Chhaya sir's all 6 daughters in the maiden lecture. Unfortunately, we lost Ba also to unite back with Chhaya sir in the year 2025. And now what we have seen so many times and keep seeing it again and again and want to see it more and more, this is the charm and impact of Chhaya sir on our lives. So as the ritual prevails, we play the AV of Dr. MP Chhaya sir, Ba and the Evergreen Memories. Can we have the AV please?
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Om Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Ve Namaha Tasmai Shri Guru Ve
बचपन था कठिन, पढ़ाई में थी लगन, शिक्षा में उत्तम, हर पहलू में प्रथम। अध्यापक से प्रधानाचार्य, भवन का संभाला प्रशासन कार्य। कड़क अनुशासन, सरल स्वभाव, श्वेत वस्त्र धारण हर किसी पर हुआ प्रभाव। अनुशासनहीनता नहीं पसंद कभी, दंडित किया उसे बड़ी सभा में तभी। हर छात्र पे करें अटूट विश्वास, पाठ्यक्रम में रहें सब आगे करके कड़ा परिश्रम। नृत्य, नाट्य, खेलकूद, एनसीसी भरपूर, सब छात्रों और छात्राओं का समग्र विकास संपूर्ण।
I would say that education is a continuous process. It's not a process you are there from KG to class 12, 14 years work. No. It's a work, ongoing work, and that ongoing work has helped you where you are today. So, my dear friends, education is not a one-way process, it's a two-way process. One side, the students, another side, the teacher. And then when we have a dialogue between us, we go ahead very fast. Even now, I'm going to complete next month 86. My process of growing myself, learning myself, still continuing. Don't think that once we are, whichever profession we are, don't think that we are at the top and so I have nothing to learn. Till our last breath, my dear children, my dear friends, you kindly see that you continue to grow and don't stop anywhere that you are now reached the highest. It will never come. So my first advice to you, wherever you are working, please see that you continue growing. Don't stop. Don't think that you are saturated at that place.
I'm quite sure that once you sit down together and talk about the school, please see that you remain attached with our school, and wherever you are, kindly see that you can help the school.
My last request to you is kindly take one child as your own child in giving education so that those who cannot afford can have good education through you. God bless you.
Hello. So this heartwarming AV was thankfully created by the efforts and inputs of the association core group members in 2021, and now is a memory for all of us for a lifetime. We can always relive and revisit with Chhaya sir, as emotions must be high after seeing this. सो इस तरह के मौक़ों पे ना सिर्फ हम स्कूल और स्कूल से जुड़ी यादों के साथ जुड़ते हैं, इनफैक्ट ये एक प्लेटफॉर्म होता है जहां हम अपने पुराने दोस्तों को भी मिल सकते हैं, उनके साथ भी जुड़ सकते हैं. सो तमाम उम्र गुजारी है खुद को कुछ बनाने में, अब कुछ मौसम तो गुजारिए पुरानी दोस्तियां निभाने में. I now invite upon stage our very dynamic, rock-solid Secretary Sahab, Shri Anup Sharma ji, Bhavanite Association Secretary, to please introduce the speaker and hand over the stage to him. Anup Sharma sir.
Namaskar, good afternoon everyone. Thank you, Mukt. I think before I introduce Madhav, and welcome Madhav once again, I want to mention briefly about Chhaya sir. I think some of us who were in the school at the time while he was here, we were fortunate to have interacted with him, blessed by him. And I think each person, I would say not only a student, even parents or whoever came in touch with him, he was such a dynamic personality. He touched every life that came in contact with him. And we are all eternally grateful and thankful to him. Whatever all of us are today, we owe, a deep gratitude to him for that. And that's what brings us to the whole idea of how this lecture series started. And because we wanted to celebrate this wonderful life for having one of the alumni coming in year after year, sharing their journey, their learnings, their experiences, their worldview. And it's very interesting that every student, at least that I have talked to in the Bhavanites fraternity, each one has a special Dr. Chhaya moment of joy and celebration. Madhav is no exception. I am not sure whether he will share that as a part of his presentation or not, so I'll take the liberty to share it so he doesn't have to repeat it. He did share it with us last evening when we met. That Madhav, I think he was in class 6th at that time. He was probably sent, he went to the sports field and they made him started doing PT, but he wanted to play football. And here was this young boy in class 6th who had the daring courage to go right up to the principal's office and said, okay, look, I want to play football and they are making me do PT. And now, look at the greatness of Dr. Chhaya, He simply wrote a note, saying, all right, this boy wants to play football. Yeah, he should be allowed to play football. Why not? So Madhav goes back to the sports field and then I think Pyare Singh ji was there at that time. So the whole system got a little, moved on and then they allowed him to play football, So each one has, there's so many memories of such a wonderful human being and soul he was. God bless him, and I'm sure he's blessing us wherever he is. So without taking much of your time, I'll introduce Madhav Nair, our distinguished speaker for today. Madhav is 1988 batch of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. He's currently the CEO of Bank of Bahrain and Kuwait in India since August 2023. Madhav has more than 3 decades of commercial banking experience across India and Middle East. And prior to joining the current assignment with Bank of Bahrain and Kuwait, he worked with several international banks in senior management positions. And his last assignment was as the CEO of the Mashriq Bank in India, where he successfully managed the transformation of the bank from not making so much of money, was about to be closed, to a profitable branch for the bank and led the bank for more than a decade. Madhav has done his master's in management, general management and strategy being the focus areas, from Asian Institute of Management, Philippines, and a bachelor's in engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology. He has completed several internationally recognized diploma and certification programs. This includes International Cash Management Certification by Association of Corporate Treasurers, UK, FCIB Certificate in International Credit and Risk Management from Michigan State University, Diploma in Business Leadership Strategy and Leadership from Duke's University, Advanced Diploma in International Factoring Services from Factors Chain International, Senior Management Program 3TP from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. So you can see that besides the formal education, his urge for knowledge, interacting with people, making influence groups has been a very central theme, and I'm sure that you will hear that in his presentation. Madhav is currently the Deputy Chairman of the prestigious bankers industry body, Indian Banks Association, and has been an elected member of the Managing Committee since 2016, a rare achievement for more than a decade, being continuously elected for such a prestigious body. And this is the body which comprises of all the senior management of all the banks in India, both public sector as well as private sector banks. So it's a very prestigious chairman, managing directors. That's what this group is all about. Great group for policy advocacy and policy changes to RBI and the government. He's currently nominated as the chairman of the Standing Committee of the IBA on Environment, Social and Governance. This is the future of like CSR, how to make the development and the growth in the industry sustainable. And also alternate chairman of the Standing Committee on Legal and Banking Operations. Madhav is highly regarded in banking circles for his expertise in policy advocacy, an important area as the economy reforms and goes to a high growth path, especially in the area of environment, social and governance, internationalization of rupee, and digital banking. He has been closely working with the government, regulators, and industry to resolve issues faced by the sector. In 2021, Madhav was invited by the Reserve Bank of India, constituted Regulatory Review Authority 2.0, advisory group to present issues as well as suggestions, recommendations on behalf of foreign banks. Madhav was the keynote speaker at the program on responsible banking organized by Indian Institute of Bank and Finance and UNEPF1 for senior bankers. As part of India's G20 presidency, Madhav was invited by Policy Circle in March 2023 to speak at their event Digital India Empowerment and Transformation, covering the digital initiatives of Indian banks in the changing technological space. Madhav was recently inducted as an independent director of Finance Industry Development Council, a self-regulatory organization for non-banking finance companies approved by the Reserve Bank of India. He's also the co-chairman of the National Committee on Banking and Finance of the ASSOCHAM, and also very active with FICCI. So therefore, the central theme about Madhav's journey has been he has acquired an immensely important position in the banking circles for policy reforms, advocacy, changes, because as the Indian economy transforms, you will all realize one of the sectors, and we're already feeling it, the banking is so critical to the entire thing that happens in the economy, the digital space as well as the reforms in the banking sector. So I'm sure we are all very keenly looking forward to hearing you, Madhav, your wonderful ideas and your view about not only banking, but also to share your experience since you left school. Welcome back home. So praise George, please. Please give him a big round of applause.
Can I have to change the, yeah. Apologies for the delay between you and Madhav sir. There's some issue with the clicker. We're just getting it done quickly. Please bear with us. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience.
So clear message, technology doesn't always work. Yeah, and I'm happy. That means there's a job for us. Okay, before I start, I think my deepest gratitude to the school, particularly Dr. Chhaya, in whose memory this speech is being organized. To all my teachers who have actually shaped us and to what we have all achieved or reached, it's thanks to their blessings. To all my fellow students, my seniors, my batchmates, as well as my juniors, from whom we always keep learning. I can also see several of my teachers here. My heartfelt gratitude that you could take time out and... In fact, my classmates, mother, who was also our English teacher, Mrs. Arora is here, Mr. Usharam, who taught us, Mr. Dhingra, quite a lot of Mrs. Rekha Sharma, quite a lot of teachers. I'm sorry if I miss out someone. I'm also getting old. I'm not young anymore. Yeah. I was also happy that some of my batchmates from my 1988 batch, they've taken time out and they've come here. Also happy that some of my brother's batchmates are here. My brother passed out in 1980, so 3 of my brother's batchmates are here. Happy for that they could also take time out and come here. Before entering, I had a chance to meet, I think, the director of the Kendra, and he said that when he went and spoke at his school, he froze. I'm also feeling the same kind of a moment right now. When you come back, I think when you meet your teachers and, it's always the teachers here and we were the other side. It's first time probably for me, it's the other side that I'm here and I'm going to say something about a field which I have spent some time in. So thank you all. A big thanks to Anup ji and Manish ji for reaching out and giving me this opportunity to speak to all of you. So the topic which I chose today was reimagining banking for a Viksit Bharat. But before I get into that topic, a bit about my own journey in the school. We were based in Hyderabad. My father used to be working for Bharat Heavy Electricals. He was an engineer. 1977, October, he got transferred to Delhi. And first of all, we came to Delhi and we froze because Delhi in October, those days was very cold and we were coming from Hyderabad, which was extremely hot. And that was the first time probably I sat in a plane to come here. And it was an eventful journey because the plane, moment we started off, it was hit by a bird. And we couldn't fly off till late night. And by the time we came, the guest house was already given off to someone else. So we had a very eventful coming to Delhi. I think we were welcomed very warmly those days. And then we realized that no school was willing to take us. And every school we approached, they said, you'll have to wait for a year because you'll come mid-year and we'll not take you. Chhaya ji was kind enough and someone had referred his name to my father saying that, in BHL, where we were in Hyderabad, Bhavan was coming out to the campus. So he said, there is some connect, why don't you use that connect and go and meet Dr. Chhaya ji. We went and met and he said, oh, great, they can come in from tomorrow onwards. And the first thing he did was he took us to the quadrangle and the house functions were going on. I said, I had never seen all those, back In Hyderabad, it was pretty much dry school. It was only academics and academics. And here I realized, and that's what we were speaking yesterday, I think what we got from Bhavans was a 360-degree approach to life. It was not just academics. Frankly, if it was academics, I wouldn't have been standing here and speaking to you. I don't think my name appears anywhere in the roll of honors at all, and it never appeared even in my class roll of honors, let me tell you honestly. So if I can come here, any one of you can come here. So I'm actually a motivating factor for that purpose. So journey was quite eventful. I think I spent 10 years in Bhavans. And by the time I passed out, I was pretty clueless about what I needed to do in life. Then I was good in a sport called chess. I played up to national levels in that. Thanks to that, I got admission in Delhi University. I did 1 year BSc Chemistry Honours in Kirorimal College. And that's when my identity also changed. Meaning by, at school I was one of those docile front benchers. I don't think many of my even batchmates knew me at that time. I was so quiet and probably nobody knew me. Teachers definitely never knew me. And I would not trouble anyone, so it was fine with everyone. College gave me a different kind of an outlook. You go to Delhi University, there was no controls. I hardly attended any class. The whole 1 year I was jumping, and North Campus is great. You can jump from one college to other. So I had friends, all our schoolmates were in different colleges. That changed my personality a lot. And my dad felt that that's a time to send him to do engineering. So that's why I got into engineering. 4 years, my only objective in engineering was to get out of the college in 4 years' time. Didn't want to spend the 5th year there because I realized it was costing money. Plus, I really didn't have any clue about engineering, if you ask me. My wife still suspects whether I really passed my engineering because I'm an electrical engineer by qualification, but I can't change a bulb. My wife does it. I'm very scared of appliances also. So you can imagine. So what you learn is not what you do. So again, after like school, I was clueless. After college also, I was pretty clueless about what I needed to do. Same, like you see in some films, I never thought that I will also become one character of films. I was jobless and I was hunting for a job. And I went back to my native. My father had retired and we were in Trivandrum. Surprisingly, he had bought a bike for me those days. It was a very big thing, So I used to take the bike, and I had no friends in Trivandrum because I was born and brought up in Delhi. So I used to roam around the whole town whole day, doing nothing. So my brother couldn't digest that, my older brother, and he was getting posted in Bangalore. So he said, come over and you can study or do something else out there. So that's how I reached Bangalore. And that's when reality struck me that being jobless, people commenting on you, saying you're the black sheep, and all kinds of adjectives were being used. So I realized that I needed to step out and start searching for a job. I think I must be holding some kind of a record because I attended possibly around 40 to 45 interviews and got kicked out at some stage. Whether it was at the written stage or at the final interview stage, I got tested properly. And then I realized that I needed to do something really different. I still didn't have any clue what I was doing. So those days we were staying in a hostel in Bangalore where the ground floor was full of nursing students, male nursing students studying in a medical college nearby. And the first floor were all unemployed engineers like me. And we used to get one newspaper called the Deccan Herald. And in that ads would come in, and all of us would look at that ads because we didn't have money. So we used to buy only one newspaper. And someone then said, why don't you try this? Bank is coming. Now, I don't know, how many of you have actually visited a bank? Especially the kids. You actually visited the bank, wow. So I had never visited a bank. Even the school bank, which was UCO Bank those days, my father used to come and pay the fees. So I had not even seen the school, I never filled the fees here also. So anyway, I said, okay, I'll write that exam. Somehow I wrote the exam, I went through it, and I cleared. And here I got a job with a bank, and I really didn't know what the bank did. So it was pretty clueless. I was a science student, I did engineering. Now you can't expect me to know debit, credit, and all the kind of regulations. But something must have, the bank which took me was HSBC. They must have seen something in me. So we were 10 of us taken at that year, and each one was being assigned a department. So each one got a back office department. I thought I'll learn the job, while spending some time there, I'll learn the job. To my dismay, I realized that they put me in customer services. So first day I'm sitting, there was a shutter outside, and I saw a lot of people standing. So I said, I asked my boss lady, So I said, why are they all waiting? They said, no, the bank opens at 10 and only then they are allowed. I said, okay. 10 o'clock the shutters opened, all of them rammed towards me. They're saying telegraphic transfer, something. I never understood anything about what they were talking of. I was pretty clueless. Anyway, I learned the art. I kept my seniors happy. So I used to run with the form, tell them how to fill it, because I really had never filled a form in my life. Anyway, somehow I managed to survive. I realized one thing quickly there, that banking is services. That means if you keep the customer happy, he'll come back to you. Second, banking is full of regulations. If you know the regulations well, you will be able to. So two things happened. I mugged up the entire banking manuals of the bank. And second, I managed to keep myself close to the customer. So those two things helped me, and actually that has helped me throughout my banking career. So one, learning about the regulations, and second, the customer services. And frankly, in any industry you go, if you do these two things, the technical part of it and the service part of it, you will be successful. Now, one of the things which I also do, sorry, I'm just digressing from my presentation, and that will keep happening, don't worry. I made a presentation just for making a presentation, just to sort of, psych you all. But one of the things which I do always when I go and speak in colleges, this is the first time I'm coming to a school, so pardon me. Maybe I'm your parents' age. So there is definitely a generation gap. But one question I definitely ask the audience, just to sort of understand. And the reason I ask that is when one of my journey in banking, I was the product manager, and when I was applying for that job, my boss told me that, you need to have lateral thinking. You will hear these things like, think out of the box. I have never seen the box, I never thought outside the box, but still, that thing was being told to me. So the question is, which he posed to me, and frankly, there's no right answer or wrong answer, so I'll pick up students and ask them to give me an answer. And I'll maybe even pick up the teachers, and don't worry. This is my chance to get back. Yeah. So there are 4 shops in a lane, 4 shops, all selling the same brand of shoes. Okay. One shop has 3 times theft than the remaining shops. Got the question? In a lane, there are 4 shops selling the same brand of shoes. One shop has 3 times the theft of the other 3. What could be the reason? And as I said, there is no right answer or wrong answer. So, should I pick up the students, or would someone raise and give me an answer? There's no right answer or wrong answer. And the guys who are yawning will be the first guys I'll catch. Okay, I'll catch this boy, second row. Yes, you're looking down, so I'm catching you. What could be the answer? Same brand. Say Nike. They're all selling the same brand. But एक दुकान में 3 गुना ज़्यादा चोरी हो रहा था. My Hindi is good, huh? Okay. My Hindi teacher never thought. Okay, that's one. मैंने कहा कोई गलत नहीं है इसलिए. So it's a nice answer. Yeah. हाँ. कौन चोरी कर रहा है? Out of the box. वो भी हो सकता है उसको बैंकक्रप्ट करने के लिए. हाँ. So as I said, there's no right answer, wrong answer. Yeah. ये चारों मेन रोड में सामने ही है. पीछे को और छेद होगा जहां से वो निकाल सकते हैं. Yes, Vigra sir.
Must be having more effective products than the others.
No, same brand, sir. Same brand. So.
He's having a more sale.
Oh, my batch is telling me that. Same brand. So, this was a tricky question.
Might be some of the employee is involved in this type of a thing.
Sir, यही question, यही answer मेरे को MBA students ने भी दिया है. All MBA students I asked, they gave me this, technical answer. CCTV काम नहीं कर रहा है, employee चोरी कर रहे हैं. Could be. As I said, there's no right answer or wrong answer. It's a simple thing. This is also a unique one. They visited the bank. So what is a bank all about? In simple terms, bank is someone who takes deposits, that means takes money, and gives an interest rate to the depositor, and that money we lend to a borrower and take an interest. The difference between the two is the profit which the bank makes. Okay, and that is what we do. Apart from that, of course, we do a lot of added services. So one of the Roman buildings which has got some pillars, etc. And that's how it became more institutionalized. Now coming back to India, even in India, banking has been there for the first known literature, which was Arthashastra, written by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. She nationalized 14 banks in 1969. That means she became the owner of these banks. And that was also again followed up in 1980. Banks were taken. So that was the phase 2 of banking which took place, a consolidation of banks, and this was primarily for the greater good of the people. Phase 3, I'm not sure if many of you are aware, it was a very bad moment for us in 90s. We were almost bankrupt as a country, to such an extent that we had to send our gold to UK. Mr. Narasimha Rao, along with the then Finance Minister Manmohan Singh, who later on became our Prime Minister, they came out with economic liberalization. India was a very closed economy. So we decided to liberalize. And from a banking sector point of view, what that gave in was, so by 93-94, banks such as HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, then UTI Bank, which is now called Axis Bank, they all came in. And what did they do? What they did was they revolutionized the banking industry. They came with no legacy. So what happened was they came with the latest technology. Public sector banks were still working on ledgers, manual ledgers, etc. They came with the latest technology, younger staff, more customer services, and they changed the outlook. Honestly,
in economics, when we teach this chapter in class 12, we say the change from regulator to facilitator.
Absolutely.
That's what this is there next year.
Absolutely. During this period, I was just completing my engineering, and when I thought about this ATMs, you must have seen ATMs across, I thought, how could a machine disburse cash? I honestly, those days, was under the belief that somebody is sitting behind and counting and how could you know? It was not there in our DNA to understand that machines can also do this. Everything was manual in our era. So I actually thought somebody sitting behind, and moment someone punches 3,000, somebody must be counting and putting it back. That's how they call it the anytime money or something like that. It was much later when I actually joined a bank, I realized no, it is pretty much automated. Next slide, please. The next change which I see, which revolutionized the Indian industry, was after 2014, where the digital public infrastructure came in. And a term called the JAM Trinity was introduced. JAM stands for Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, and Mobile. Now, what was this all about? India has a population of around 140 crores. Many of them were unbanked. So, if you are unbanked, what is happening? You are not part of the mainstream. In fact, when government gives money to the poor, for every 1 rupee, possibly only 10 paisa was reaching, or you can say for every 100 rupees, possibly 1 rupee was reaching the end beneficiary. Why? Because people in between, they were taking the money off. Now what happened with this JAM Trinity? Government, when they are sending to a poor person some money, the full 100 rupees was getting credited to that person's account. So this changed the, end of the day, unless you alleviate the poor, country cannot go forward. And that is what this transformed. Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, Mobile. Today, if you go to anyone, I think even a beggar has a mobile. Okay, I've seen them standing at the roadside, they'll be speaking to someone. Or they'll be going on YouTube and watching something. So everybody seems to be having a smartphone, and that's transformed. And this transformation has changed the country completely. Other big thing which happened in 2016 was the formation of UPI, Unified Payment Interface. Now, what this did was, you could send money from one person to other just by scanning a QR code or doing it immediately. During my college days, when I had to wait for, every month I had to wait for my dad to send me money, it would take ages. And he would say, Madhav, you only call when you need money. So I had to call him well in advance so that he has ample time to go to the bank and send a draft or send some transfer. Even money orders, post offices would say it would take at least 15 days. Today, if your parents want to credit you, so simple. Today, if you are going to a shop and you want to buy, all you need to do is scan the QR code and make the payment. Today, I see people, I go to a guy in where I stay, I have, after my morning walk, I have a coconut water. He says, sir, cash nahi chahiye. QR code, scan and give me. Things have changed. So that is the digital economy which is coming in, and that transformation has completely changed. So you can imagine today, banking services is reaching majority of the people. Your grandparents visited banks. They had to wait in lines, queues, etc. Your parents used ATMs. Today, you are carrying the bank in your pocket. Your phone has the bank. And that is the transformation which is happening to the Indian banking industry. In all this, we have been pretty insulated. We have been insulated that whatever happened in India remained in India. But was that happening in the globe too? Answer is no. There were two big crises which happened in that era, in the 90s. One was the Asian financial crisis, which hit all the countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, etc. Nothing happened to India. Nothing happened to India. The next crisis happened, which was the global financial crisis, which started off in US, and it went across, every country got hit. Did nothing happen to India again? I would say that's because of our strong systems. Our Reserve Bank of India has regulated the banks so well that we are not expected to do any speculative stuff. And this speculative stuff led to the downfall of many banks in US, where the government had to bail out even the largest of banks, like Citibank was bailed out by the government. In our country, it never happened. So it was a big thing that we managed to survive two crises. But this is also a lesson that such things can happen in the future, and we need to be we need to have guardrails to protect the country from this. Did we have our share of challenges? Answer is yes. Next slide, please. In 2010, we had something called the twin balance sheet crisis, meaning by the banks were not doing well, the banks had lent money to corporates, they were not doing well. And for obvious reasons, I know of a corporate which was selling televisions. They went and invested in an oil field in South America. Now tell me, what is the correlation? There's no correlation of a company which is selling TV. Why should they go and buy an oil field in South America? Obviously, that company wouldn't last, correct? So if you are going and doing things that are quite unrelated, you need to be careful. And that era, because easy money was available, people were going into speculative trades. Companies were buying real estate, companies were sending money abroad, buying companies overseas. Many companies, one very blue chip company I know, they went and picked up a lot of assets in Italy. And frankly, these assets were at a much higher price. And because the owners were not spending their money, they were taking free money from the banks, they had to default. So that crisis hit us badly. Both the banks and corporates were not doing well. Bring it back to 2025, I think everything is going fantastically well for us. All banks are very, very healthy today. All corporates are doing fantastically well. If you look at the results, they're all dividend paying. So we are truly in Amrit Kal as we speak today. So it's great. It's because of the leadership. It is also because of the regulatory infrastructure. And I wouldn't actually say it's one particular government. It's a series of steps which have been taken place right from 1991 onwards. So I would try to give credit to all of them, and that's why we are here. Today, everybody's envying us. Next slide, please. Truly shining star. If you look at the TV, why is one president after us? One president of a very large country, he keeps criticizing us. Why? I will not take names, you know him. Correct? So, obviously, his country is not doing well, and he wants to sort of make sure that even we are not doing well. When we sign a deal called the mother of all deals, why is it affecting him? It was not involving his country. We are signing it with EU. But he starts saying, India is supporting this, India is doing that. But India will do what is good for India. Correct? Why should we think about some other country? I think fantastically well, we are poised. And if you look at, I put two quotes. McKinsey, which is the largest strategy firm, their CEO says it's not India's decade, it's India's century. And same thing was said by Jeff Bezos, who's also the founder of Amazon. He says India is truly shining. So guys, what's happening is, India which we were born, we didn't have that much of opportunities. But the India in which you are there, or Bharat which you are there, has ample opportunities. When I was studying, we were told either you can become a doctor or you can become an engineer. There was no other career path for us. Today, all career paths are open for you. Even teachers earn more than us. Okay, it was one of the, it's a great, I have very high regard for teachers, but teachers have never paid well, historically, not just in India, but globally. Today, even teachers can make money. And the kind of technology changes, and somebody was just telling us when we were discussing, even, the side classes which take place, they have adopted the latest technology. And the teachers are now not addressing 50 students, they are addressing maybe thousands of students online. Things have changed. Opportunities have changed. Next slide, please. What is the world we are living in? I would use a US military term called VUCA. VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Why? We have seen Russia-Ukraine war. We are seeing the trade wars being fought. Correct, we are every day hearing of tariffs and what is happening. We are seeing our own country having challenges with our neighbors. We are surrounded by quite a lot of hostile neighbors. They all want to disturb us. Why? Because we are doing well. Obviously, it's like you're staying in an apartment, you are doing well, all your neighbors are not doing well. They'll start talking about you. They will make sure that, they'll puncture your car or they'll do something to keep you down. That's how life is. So we have to be very, very careful when we are in such a world. And India, which was seen as a backward country or a fragile economy 15, 20 years back, today India is seen as a powerful country. Everybody wants to come and invest in India. Why? We have a huge market. And our biggest advantage is you. We have got a very young demography. Young demography means our average age of our country is only 28 years. Chinese are old, Europeans are old, Americans are older. We have a young population in you. So in our journey forward, it's you who will take us forward. All other countries will just have a lot of challenge for the next 20 to 30 years. That is why this is a golden period for us and we need to capitalize. We cannot be just sitting here and think, we are in the right space. We have to do something about it. Next slide, please. When we are also in the VUCA world, I think generation of yours should understand technology is changing rapidly. We had never seen a computer. So I think I attended the computer labs that just started off in our school. And the only thing I would come and do is play a game. I didn't know beyond that what I could do. Even in my engineering, I just managed to clear my engineering. I just knew in the C prompt I had to put some commands which I had written down and it would run some program. And that's what I knew about computers. Things have changed. Technology has changed. Today we are talking of virtual reality, augmented reality. We are talking of artificial intelligence. We are talking of blockchain. It is very critical for you, irrespective of which field you are in. You're in arts, science, commerce, any background. Please spend some time understanding technology. It will be critical because it's not going to take away jobs. That I don't believe in that philosophy. But if you know how to use it, you'll be better than the person sitting next to you. So learning that as quickly as possible will give you a tremendous advantage over anyone. Next slide, please. Do you understand the term deja vu? Deja vu is a situation which looks like it has come back again. When I was in the banking sector in year 1999, that was the dot-com era. Dot-com means a lot of companies were getting into internet. And people said that, no buildings are required. Everything can happen on an internet. That time, two banks were created, wingspanbank.com and eggbank. Today, they don't exist. But today, we have a newer avatar of that called neobank. So, what went wrong here? I think what went wrong here was two things. One, the technology was not ready at that time. Internet was slow. Second, people still believe in trust. Meaning by, you have to see something to believe. Will you give money to someone in internet? Very difficult. You actually want to see whether that building exists, whether people exist, and that is why the word the trust comes in a lot. Next slide, please. We are doing extremely well on the telecom field. In fact, we are far ahead of the Western world. where we are also talking about 6G right now. As we speak, I think the government is working on that, on the policies. And also, if you look at the web which we looked at was pretty static. The web which you are looking is Web 3.0 and 4.0. And that is the reason why I'm requesting all of you, you need to be adept at technology. Irrespective of which field you are, if you do that, it will be a big advantage. Next slide, please. So what is the future of banking? Will bank exist as what we see that, we have a physical building, they give you some internet banking, etc. I don't know. Frankly, I don't have an answer for that. It's too difficult. But when we do surveys, we get to know. What is your generation called? Gen Z. You know that. So you are the guys who banks now approach. You might not even know, but they check with you what is it that you're looking for a bank. A lot of mystery shopping is happening now because we need to know what is it that you want so that we can start designing our products basis that. I come from a generation called Gen X. Yeah. This thing was very different. The baby boomers or the generation before that, they were different. The next generation after you is called Gen Alpha. They'll be even different than you. Okay. We were conservative. You are not, as I said, most of you have not even gone to a bank. You're happy with using your mobile. I think that is what will be interesting. So banks are now spending a lot of time understanding Gen Z and Gen Alpha to decide what the products would be. And that would really take us forward. We are not interested in the other generations because we know what they want because there is a history of what they have. Correct? So a lot of research is going on in this area. Next slide, please. So what do you understand by Viksit Bharat? When we are saying that India is shining, we are growing at so much, our GDP is growing at 7%, 8%, is it something which is really to be proud of? Answer is yes, definitely we should be proud of. But we'll really be proud of if all 140 crores of our Indians have money in their pocket. When we have proper infrastructure. Today morning I was traveling and frankly the distance from a hotel to here, it should not take me more than 10 minutes, but it took me almost like 35 minutes. Is the infrastructure there? I don't know. And still we are in a major city. You go to towns and class 3 cities, probably it's worse off there. So to me what Viksit Bharat means is have all the facilities which can ease our life. We should have healthcare where every Indian would be given an affordable healthcare, should have proper jobs, job security, should be making ample money so that he can have a higher quality of life. You are all privileged class coming to Bhavans. Imagine there are many people who are not able to even join classes, and I think the message even Dr. Chhaya gave was look at those underprivileged kids. What can we do for them? Why should they be underprivileged if India is shining, if India is such a strong economy? We have to get them out of that. And that is the mission of Viksit Bharat which I see, and that is what I'm urging all of you. Look at the country. It's not just your growth. If you can get them along, you will grow much faster. And that is something which is very, very critical. Next slide, please. So from a banking perspective, it's surprising. When we look at banks, the top 20, there's no Indian bank. India is such a large country. We don't have big banks. The big banks are from China, the US, and the Japan. Much more developed country than us. So even the government has taken this into cognizance. We are trying to create at least 2 big banks in the next 10 to 15 years. So we will be hearing more from the government. You can keep a lookout for that. We will definitely by 2047 have 2 to 3 banks which are really world class and will be among the top 10. And that's something which is definitely going to take shape place. Otherwise, we'll be way behind. The most underrated segment of our economic world today in India is the MSME or the SME. The challenge there is they really don't get the support in terms of banks lending to them. And if you talk to any entrepreneur, that's a big challenge. Surprisingly, they employ 60% of the workable population is employed by SMEs. 35% of exports is driven by SMEs, and they get no support from anyone. It's a sad state. They are the backbone of any economy. And that's something which Viksit Bharat will have to drive. Next slide, please. So, four areas which I thought which would come in, which would be in creating a manufacturing hub. You would have seen that semiconductors government has announced. So, by 2030, we will see semiconductor manufacturing, a lot of chips will be coming in. Why I'm telling you all this is also when you are looking into the future, these are the growth industries. So, if you are planning to either get yourself employed or you're looking at starting some business of your own, this would be something like a crystal ball for you to see what the future is. So you can sort of invest your time and energy in these four segments, which I believe will be driving our country in the future. Next slide, please. I'm a banker, so I'll say, please join banking, so that when our alumni meets take place, we'll have many of you coming here and sort of giving tips on banking. But having said that, one of the statements which I also made was that today it is not just banking or financial services. Opportunities are there across the ESG segment, especially on the environment, climate change. There is a lot of action happening and we need qualified people for that. My final thing is also, which I tell every college student, please don't look for a job. Start something and give jobs. India doesn't require, we are the typical middle class mentality. We would like to go and work. Rather, I would say, we need to change our thought process and start creating companies. You create company, even a small company, you will employ 10 to 15 people. That is what India needs. And unfortunately, our curriculum is not backing towards that. Our infrastructure, even the banking and financial services is not backing. But I am hopeful that collectively we can change this and we can see many of you being entrepreneurs and creating jobs, doing something new. I'm not going to ask you to reveal your secrets now because you're competing with your batchmates too. But this is a question which I want you to keep thinking. How can you contribute towards the country? Indians typically have been very selfish. I have also been that, so I can, sort of say that. I was always I was always insecure. I was only looking at myself. I never thought of what I can do back or give back to the country. Our teachers do a great job. Our teachers are actually contributing back. They're teaching us, they're doing a lot of work for us. But generally, once we get into the corporate life, it's only money-making racket. And we get happy, we get a nice job, MNC job, we are comfortably placed, we are going to the best of clubs, and we are very happy. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. As we grow older, we realize we need to give it back to the society. That's something which I noticed in developed countries takes place. You know that Japan will never buy goods from some other country if some of their guys are producing it, even if it is more costly. Indians will negotiate. Arey, Chinese 5 rupees mein de raha hai. Chalo, Chinese le lenge. We don't have any qualms of getting and dealing with Chinese. How can we grow? And second, we are never conscious about quality. Japanese are so particular about our quality. We try to get one export order, we do fantastic. Once that order is given, forget about quality, third-rate stuff bejo, and the deal stops. Why? We are all trying to make a quick money. That habit of quick money should stop. We have to think long, and I'm really impressed by Japanese. They really think 20 years, 30 years from now. They make sure that the products they give you will last, and that's why you want a Japanese. Today, if I tell you there's a Japanese TV and a Chinese TV, majority of us will go and buy a Japanese TV if everything is fine. We don't even mind paying some premium because the quality is good. I think that's something which Indians will have to, look at. Quality is very, very critical. Next slide, please. Thank you. Jai Hind. One acknowledgement for 1988 batch. We were silent performers. No superstars in our batch, but we still have some superstars because they are so involved in their work, we don't know them. A few names which I would like to take. I'm very proud of my batchmate Sushil Menon. Sushil is a Vice Admiral of Navy, and 2 days back he was given AVSM. Very proud of him. He is the highest ranking officer of our batch. I'm very proud of Yuvraj Arora. Yuvraj Arora, ma'am's son, was my batchmate. He was the global head of marketing for Kellogg's, and he works in a very big role in another multinational.
To become CEO.
The head boy of our batch, Pawan Borle, was the group chief HR officer of Fly Dubai, the airline, and now he's a serial entrepreneur. He is investing in climate technologies, climate-related technologies, fantastically well. When we are talking of banking, I'm still small. I have a batchmate of mine, Uttam Tibrewal, who's a co-founder of AU Bank. So our guys have done well. 88 batch also has done well. I'm also extremely proud about our head girl, Mehla. And I think this is a story which someday we'll have to hear from her. She took a year off. She and her husband took a year off from their corporate career. They're doing extremely well. The daughter also took off. Yes, and for their daughter they took, you have to hear for what before clapping. They took a year off to make sure that the daughter gets to know what the world is all about. They traveled the whole year and they did homeschooling for her. And she was our college, a school topper, by the way, if you see Mahela Sundaresan. It's a big thing for husband and wife giving up their corporate jobs for their daughter, taking the daughter through a journey. And I'm sure that journey would have been something which is, I think only we can dream of. So several, I don't want to take more, I think there are several other batchmates. It will be bad if I don't, acknowledge them, but there are many of them. I think each one has been successful. Lastly, there are a few people who bind the batch together. And we have Dr. Irwin, a silent operator. I think batch of 88, we call her the Favicol. Hum jude hain to thanks to Irwin. And we have another dynamic personality in Arun Jain. Thanks, Arun. We lost one of our very good organizers, Parag Mehta, unfortunately. He died some time back. But I think because of him, we used to have a lot of get-togethers. So when I was asked by Anup, do you guys meet as a batch? I said, we are very active in WhatsApp. But meeting was something which Parag used to do. Someone else, probably now Arun and Irwin, will have to do something about it. So thanks again to my 1988 batch. Thanks once again to the teachers for having shaped us to what we are today. And I'll also have to acknowledge a few of my colleagues who have come in. A couple of my colleagues from my bank have joined us. And my good friend Rajesh, who was formerly at Asocham, he's also joined us today. So thank you all for coming. Thank you once again. Thanks.
Extreme thanks, Madhav sir. This is probably one of the finest deliverances we all must have witnessed in our lives. Absolutely, it will give definitely a shape to our lives as well as the new masters who will rule the world soon. Thank you so much, sir. And I am very sure कि कुछ मन में कुछ सवाल आ रहे होंगे. We are a little short of time, so we'll restrict it to 3 to 5 questions. But yeah. Students or other guests, anybody can please feel free to ask the question because it will be rapid fire. The one who raises hand first will get the opportunity first. So anybody for any questions, please? Yeah. Hello.
Being a teacher and of course educator now, I would like to appreciate and congratulate you for being very honest how you started your career in your life. It's not that easy. I don't think everybody speaks like that, and that was wonderful, being honest and all that. Because you have talked about, you brought education into it, so national education policy and our national NCF, our national curriculum framework which I am working for, we are really into lateral thinking. We are talking about skills. If you want Vikas Bhav, we have to see that our children, they learn some skill. As you said, आप इंजीनियर बन गए लेकिन आपको नहीं पता था कि कैसे लग. Now, if you see our NCERT books, we talk about that. We are telling, if you see your paper, they say book से नहीं आया क्योंकि book से आएगा ही नहीं. You have to think and write. So that is what we are trying our best in our education policy. But you spoke so well, it was so wonderful. We can clap for him again.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Anybody else, please? Oh, yeah, our own beloved, respected Dhingra sir. Please, sir.
I think India is also thinking about merging some banks, and after all, keeping just 3 or 4 banks, at the most 5 banks. Is it right?
Yeah, I think there are plans to do that. And I said the reason for that is that we need to have a couple of banks at least in the top 10 or top 20. So that's the thought process behind creating a larger bank. Larger bank also means larger balance sheet. You can take more exposure. There are a lot of areas which requires a lot of capital. Today, India needs a lot of capital to come in. And that can happen only if your banking sector is strong and you also allow foreign capital to come in.
Very informative question, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, we have one youngster. Yeah. So this will be the last question, please. I apologize for that.
सर बैलेंस शीट क्या होती है?
It looks like when I joined the bank, the same thing. Are you a science student, art student, commerce student? Wow, you will be a banker then. Balance sheet is nothing but, if I could say in very crude terms, assets and liabilities on a particular day of an institution. And why do you need financials? You need to know how it performs. And it has to be standardized. So if there are multiple companies, if you look at the balance sheet and the P&L, it's structured in a way because it's given by, it's prescriptive by, say, a SEBI or some corporate authority, corporate affairs. They would say that the balance sheet has to be made like this, the P&L will have to be made like this. If you standardize that, you get to know exactly how the company is. So that's the way to sort. It's like a report card of the company on a particular day.
Be here. So thank you very much, Madhav. I think it was an excellent lecture and a presentation. I have never seen in any of the previous lectures so many clappings from the students, as it happened in your case. You certainly touched a chord, and I think they were very interactive with you. They had, they were really resonating with what you were saying. So that's, and a big round of applause to all of you, because I was always concerned about this thing being a technical subject, banking and the future of banking and how it fits with the country's growth. I was always concerned that how to you young minds it will resonate. And brilliance of Madhav that he was able to, and I did mention to him as well, because there'll be students in the audience, please try and make it interactive and so that they understand and resonate with it. It's come out excellently well. Yeah. And I think besides the technical inputs, what Madhav has done is given you a vision. He's painted a picture that the country in the next 25, 30 years is poised for a brilliant future. And you all are in the brightest of times, because when you go out from school and start your careers, there is so much, happening there, and you have great opportunities. So, pick up these threads from here. This presentation will make sure that we share with the school. So if any one of you want to access this presentation at your own ease, whenever you have time, you want to go through it. And if you want to reach out to Madhav, please do reach out to an association. We'll be happy to address your questions and any queries you have. So we want to make it as an interactive process. So I thought I'll mention this, and so thank you, Madhav. Please have your seat. And I'll invite Kirti ma'am for the vote of thanks now. After this, I'm sorry we are rushing the question answers because Madhav has a flight to catch, and we want to have a quick lunch before that. So that's why we shortened it. But don't worry, if you have questions, feel free to ask, because it's the Bhavan's ethos to ask questions. Please do, and we will make sure that you get the answers from here.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Mehta Vidyalaya, it is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this meaningful occasion of the Dr. M.P. Chhaya Memorial Lecture, organized annually to honor the memory of Dr. Chhaya, an eminent educationist and a highly respected and a much loved former principal of this institution, whose values, vision and dedication to education continue to inspire generations. We are deeply honored to have with us Shri Madhav Nair, the CEO of the Bank of Kuwait and Bahrain, who delivered an insightful and thought-provoking lecture on the topic Reimagining Banking for a Viksit Bharat. Sir, your address beautifully connected the evolving role of the banking sector with the national aspiration of building a developed country where we see India as an inclusive and resilient nation. Your rich professional experience, global perspective, and clear articulation of how innovation, financial inclusion, and ethical leadership can shape India's growth journey have given us much to reflect upon and learn from. And on a personal note, as an economics teacher, you have taught 10% of my 12th class syllabus, sir. So I am personally, and this link is something that I will surely use. So 8 marks, 10% of my syllabus is done already. So I'm very, very grateful to you, sir. I would also like to express our sincere gratitude to the management of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, our visionary director, Shri K. Sivaprasad, registrar, Shri P.R. Kaushik, manager, Dr. C.K. Arya, principal, Mrs. Dimple Juneja, for making this program a great success. A heartfelt thanks to all my former mentors whom I see here today, who have nurtured me in this journey so far at Bhavans. A heartfelt thanks to the Alumni Association under the leadership of Mr. Anup Sharma, Mr. Manish Ahuja, Mr. Mugdh, Mr. Yogesh Negi, and I'm sure many others behind this, whose dedication and commitment keep the legacy of Dr. M.P. Chhaya alive through such intellectually enriching initiatives year after year. I also thank all the distinguished guests, alumni, and the audience for their gracious presence and enthusiastic participation, which has added immense value to this occasion. Thank you once again, Madhav sir. We are truly enriched today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, everybody, for giving so much of time and attention. And it was obviously a valuable lecture by sir. अपने जीवन का पूरा निचोड़, अपने तजुर्बे का पूरा निचोड़ उन्होंने आपके साथ शेयर किया है. And ये कोई अपना ही अपने के लिए करता है. So a big round of applause for sir once more. And एक छोटा सा, I think एक छोटा सा शेर बनता है, मैं बोल ही देता हूँ, कोई बात नहीं, नहीं तो मेरे अंदर ही रह जाएगा. So हम सबके जीवन की ये बुनियाद, जैसे बिन मांगे पूरी हुई कोई फरियाद कोई मुराद, ये मंदिर है हमारा जिससे आप भी आबाद हम भी आबाद. एंड अब ये सब साथ बोलेंगे, बीवीबी जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद. Requesting all the guest members to please proceed for lunch. It's on first floor, 104 room number. Thank you so much. And for the late joinees, a welcome from our side. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a picture first, a quick picture, and then we'll proceed. Thank you so much.